Did you see what I did there? I've been thinking about doing an intro for quite some time, so I thought I'd get on with one and see how it goes. Anyway, saves me just suddenly appearing. Hello and welcome to my channel, PawfectPastimes. My name's Amanda. My friends call me Ammo, and I live in Dorset in the southwest of England with my husband and my 3 dogs, who you'll probably see and occasionally hear behind me. If you're new here, you're very, very welcome, and it's so lovely to have you here. Please consider liking and subscribing. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. I enjoy your company. Sorry, about 50 sparrows have just flown past. Yeah, it's going to be one of those. I thought I'd come on just for a quick hello just before the end of the month. It didn't pan out how I was planning to do July. I did say I wasn't going to do Christmas in July, really. And I certainly haven't. So I said I possibly wasn't going to do it simply because I wanted to get a few things finished or moved along a bit. You may notice I am wearing my Spector, which I finished yesterday. It's been what I have been focusing on the most because I wanted to get some wear out of it at this end of the summer. It is still slightly damp and still smells slightly sheepy, but there we are. I am over the moon with it. It's the Spector by Locatelli, and I've done it in Purl yarns, which I picked up at Unravel in Farnham. I will give you a twirl. If I come back here a bit, you might be able to see. It sits where I like it on my jean zip. It's finished at a 44 inch, which is, I'm a 41, and I think the 44 gives me a nice, unclingy but fitting sweater. And the sleeves fit absolutely perfectly, just below the watch strap there. And I like the way it has bled down. The yoke has got some beautiful little flower bud patterns on it. The neckline is looser than I thought, but I'm happy with that. But I may just run a little chain of crochet to make sure it stays like that and doesn't keep falling off my shoulders. It hasn't fallen off my shoulders yet, but it may do. So the yarn I have used is, sorry, what's over here? The Urban Purl. There's her label. And I used concrete, and this is all I have left. This is the top light colour. Quantum, which was the second colour. Docklands, which is the third colour with all the rusts in and blacks. I thought you'd like these, Faye. And Urbanite, which is a gorgeous when I bought these, I said to my friends, look at all these gorgeous grungy colours. And my friend said, you can't say that. You can't call them grunge. Well, to me, grunge is good. I love grunge. And that's what they are. Rusts and deep and neutral. And I just absolutely love them. You can see the fade on the sleeve. Over the moon with this, and I have now got it to wear for cooler summer days or early autumn, and in later autumn I can put a shirt underneath anyway. So yeah, I think I'm definitely going to put a chain, just a little chain, just to hold it. I didn't do just reading my notes, sorry, on this sweater. I didn't do any sleeve decreases at all until I got to the cuff, and then I did a fast decrease. I found one of those calculators online that tells you how many to do. I put in how many stitches I had, which was 86, and I had to get down to 67 or 65 or something. And the sleeve, I have big upper arms, which I hate, but I don't like clingy jumpers, so I just kept it the same all the way down. Did a fast decrease on the last row there, and it's a 1x1 twisted rib. Look at those colours. Oh, I love it, love it, love it, love it. So it is a superwash merino. I'm just starting to consider whether I buy superwash merino, but then I don't think many people have jumped on that bandwagon as yet. And you can now get an eco process to do the smoothing of the scales on the yarn. So I will start considering that a bit more, I think. But at the moment, I'm just happy with this. I love the colours. I love the fact that I remember picking it up at a lovely yarn show with my friends. I remember the giggles we had. I've knit it in some interesting places. I think it's one of the things I put in my intro when we're in one of our Welsh holidays. So I'm over the moon that's off the needles. That also means I can cast on something else. Yay! The Anchor boyfriend size sweater is still sitting. It is still a heavy Norwegian, and it is still a little warm. Quite pleasant today. It's 22 in here, which is nice. I think 22 to 24 is my favourite temperature, but I got quite cool hands, but I don't want to do anything big on my lap because I'm on the sleeves. I've got a bulk of the sweater on my lap, and I don't want that at the moment. So I'll either cast on the little sweater or cardigan I want to do for my granddaughter, which is in cotton. I'm a bit wary of that because I know how much cotton can hurt my hands. But we'll see. It's only little pieces. It's a quick knit anyway. I have the Compton still upstairs from the knitting. No, not the knitting shed. Might be the knitting shed. Anyway, I bought the wool for that last year, and it's sitting there waiting for me to start. And I also have the Viola waiting in the wings here, and I'm very tempted to start this one instead. Very tempted. That's such a pretty sweater. The Compton's a little heavier. It's more of a autumn winter. I think this could be a summer autumn, so I may do that. Anyway, I didn't show you Locatelli in her Spector. I'll put all the details down below. Anything I say or mention here, I will try and put down below for you. Okay, I have picked up, last night I finished this yesterday afternoon and put it to block. It's still mildly damp, but that's fine. So last night when we were watching telly, I picked up my land wrap, which is by Louis Boria. It's a pattern he did for Life in the Long Grass, the Southern Irish magazine, bookazine that comes out. And I don't think he's released it anywhere. And it's a shame really, because I've had quite a few inquiries about it. So I apologise if you haven't been able to trace it. Now, last time I saw you, I was there on the Jack and the Pulpit, my little bunny stitch progress keeper. Last night I finished the last two Jack in the Pulpits and started the next one, which will be a 3-in-1 tweed. I've bought the other half, and I have just on the half I'm working on, I have just got to there. 3-in-1 tweed goes pretty fast. I've then got a short batch of Jack in the Pulpit and some sailor's rib. So that is all I have to do. I mean, they're not hugely long. and this is done in Holworth tweed, and it's quite a nice bouncy yarn. Oh, I'd like to get this finished if possible. When did I start this? Eyes on. 65. I started this in May 2024, so it's just over a year ago. And yes, that's the one I changed the colours on. So I'd really like to get it off because I wanted to use it around the garden in the summer, but to be fair, it hasn't been cool enough to need a wrap. But as we get cooler evenings, it's going to be lovely having the slightly changing feel of the season, slightly dark. I think when we go through the midsummer and the autumn equinox, it takes about a month. It's almost like the world teeters for a month and then it starts tilting the other way. So we are just over a month on from midsummer, and it's just starting to feel as though the nights are slightly drawing in and the mornings are slightly drawing in. So we've got our lovely autumn hobbies to look forward to. So I'd like to get this off the needles for maybe some cooler afternoon evenings. That would be lovely. Got lots to do in the garden. I've got tomatoes coming out of my ear, so once I've finished this, I'm going to start editing and I'm going to go pick lots of tomatoes and chop and freeze some. What else in knitting? The saga of my little Ralph the dog. I've looked everywhere for a nice yarn I wanted to use, and the only one that came up with colours that I liked is an acrylic, and it is Stylecraft. And I thought, I know that colour, and I have got a bag of what I call my pointers. It's when I did a lot of little charity dogs, I knitted pointers to auction for the rescue that I'm a trustee of. And I went and had a look in there, and look what I found. A nice brown spotty yarn. This is Sandstone 1126 Stylecraft Special Double Knit. It is acrylic. I think it's all acrylic. It's Life that's got the wool in, isn't it? Yeah, 100% acrylic, premium acrylic. So I've popped that in my Ralph bag, and I'm going to make him out of that. And I still might go ahead and make the other part that came with the kit as a little friend for Ralph. But I'm so pleased I had that in stock already. Oh, I've got one of those crochet hooks that disintegrate in there. Look at that. Oh, that's horrid. Ew. Right, I'm going to sort that out later. If you've got that with some crochet hooks, the rubber disintegrates and it goes really sticky. I had that with a Dualit handheld mixer. The whole body of it just went sticky. We managed to get it off with some acetone, I think it was, but it wasn't nice. Anyway, so that is another little thing I'd like to get done, because I'd like a little Ralph. And I think that is all I've done knit-wise. I've been mainly focusing on getting this finished, and I'm over the moon, absolutely over the moon. Stitching, I said last time at the end of the video, the last 10 minutes, it was about the collaboration with Babylon Leather. I'd chosen something that I thought I could use as a project bag. And if you're creative, which I'm sure a lot of you are if you're watching this channel, you think of things like, how will I use this item? I didn't want the chair, I didn't want jewellery, and I didn't want smellies and all those other things. I've turned those down. But I thought this one you could use for all sorts of things. So I had a look on the website and I found the large tote. It's all finished. I go into detail on my last video. The inside is beautifully boxed and there's room, plenty of room in there for a couple of projects or one large blanket or several small ones to take away. It's a great size shopper. Of course, I'd want to use it as a project bag. I have a discount code which I will put on the screen if you're interested. There's also the option that if you, you can use my code with any code or discounts they have currently on the website too. I'll put it down below, I'll put it on the screen. There's also the option that if you like making things but think, what would I use it for? How about buying something to make as a gift for somebody for the C word at the end of the year? I think that's a lovely idea. I've got my eye on a couple of other things that my daughter might like. I just loved making this. I do like the heavier crafts. I can weld, I can do glass work, I can do stained glass, I can do leaded glass, Tiffany glass, fused glass. I do metal work. I love doing a bit of woodwork. Leather work I class as one of the heavier crafts, not a soft craft like knitting and crochet, which is soft sewing. So all the holes are pre-punched, all the pieces are pre-cut. All you have to do is give it some time and follow the video, and you end up with a gorgeous bag. This is beautiful hide leather, and you can make yourself something, or you could make a gift for somebody else and enjoy the making and they enjoy the receiving. So go and give it a look, and if you'd like something on there, use my discount code and get yourself a treat. Absolutely love it. This is khaki, the colour khaki, by the way. They've got quite a range of colours. So I was absolutely over the moon with that. You will see it with future projects, I'm sure. The other stitching I have moved on with a lot is, and I'm dying to finish this today, my acorns cross stitch. All I have left to do is to fill this leaf in, put a small acorn there and put a small leaf in there, and then this one is finished. When I did some sorting of my daughter's cross stitches and embroidery a few months ago, which I showed on here. One of the pieces I bought a frame for, and when I was buying that frame, I sized this up and bought a frame as well. So I have this frame ready. There's a blue film on it. I've got the acrylic museum glass stuff on it because it was coming through the post. It's a very, very good quality one anyway. So I've got the frame. I've so nearly finished this. Once I have finished it, I will spritz it and pin it out. I have put on a border of pillowcase linen, just some pillow cotton. I do pick up old linens and pillowcases. You have to be so careful with pillowcases because they're quite often, especially if they're slightly more modern, featherproof, which means they are treated not to let the feather quills through. And they can be terribly hard to sew if you pick up linens to stitch when you're doing, have I got any in this work? Oh. When you're doing little stitchy bits like this, that's on a strip of linen, old linen. And if you use pillowcase linen, they can be terribly hard to stitch by hand. So I save them for things like this when I'm going to stitch them on the machine. It extends the fabric that I'm doing the cross stitch on, gives plenty more fabric to go in the hoop, and gives it a easier way of mounting it on the mount board to go in the frame. So I will soon be finishing this, I hope today. I've got a few things to do, like with the tomatoes and things. I will pin it out, spritz it and let it dry. I will then back it with a white fabric just between the stitch and the backboard of the frame to make sure it looks white and not grey. But that's all I have left to do. One acorn, one big leaf, one small leaf, and that's done for autumn, and I'm over the moon for that. I do still have, the Frosty Tiny Town. I'd like to do the little drum. The Frosty Tiny Town by Heart in Hand. I have printed out the pattern chart, and I have found an offcut of fabric the right size, trimmed down to right size. I would like to get on with that one. I know it won't be in July, but it's only a little one. So that is my next plan, stitching. And I think that is everything just for my end of month roundup at the moment, I'm afraid. I have a very, very busy month ahead. It's full of birthdays and anniversary, our wedding anniversary. We have 4 birthdays right at the beginning of the month, and so that's all going to happen. Last weekend I went on the train to Bristol, Temple Meads. My daughter picked me up and we went straight up to Cadbury World in Birmingham, in Bourneville, and spent the day with my grandson and my daughter in chocolate chaos. It was so busy. Luckily, I know I would have really suffered with the queues. I did a little bit when we went to the Harry Potter experience in London. So I booked a wheelchair. I wouldn't have been able to stand for long. And I was so grateful because the queues for certain areas were so very long, and it was lovely to be able to sit. And I did a bit of knitting, and I could carry all my grandson's chocolate because they keep giving you chocolate and chocolate and chocolate. And we also got through a few access points, which was very good. Some of the queues were very long, but I didn't end up absolutely exhausted. I did play golf last Thursday and I slept through to Saturday. It was exhausting. But I'm doing my best just to keep going, and I have my big blood test next week after next. So yeah, I'm hoping that's going to be a positive. I've got the consultation, the oncologist, hematologist at the beginning of next week. So I'm trying to be positive for that. Anything else? Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get some, I bought some bits for my reading. I'll just go and get those. Right, I'm back again. I have a few Lana books, and if you are on their mailing list, you get quite a lot of emails about their publications. They do a vast range of knitwear publications, usually with a Scandi feel, and now and then they do what they call a friend sale, which is when you can get second quality, slightly damaged, or older books that are they need to move on, and they're quite well reduced. So I had that come through last week, and I bought 3 books. One of the Lana magazine. I don't know which one this is. Spring 2025, so it's not even that old really, and I haven't really looked through that much yet. So I'm looking forward to that one. It looks like there's some lovely knits in there. That's the one that's on the cover. Oh, isn't that pretty? A couple of nice sitting ones there. I also got Lana Finish knits. As you can see, I have had a look through this one. And the ones I like the look of in here are the Vaka, which is a slip. The Ridge Forester, which is the one on the cover. I'm not usually a fan of jumbo cables. I find they can look a bit bunched and gappy, but there are such large distances between the cables on this one. It sits beautifully, I think, anyway. And the other one in here is Hunya, which caught my eye. Again, a nice sort of jumbo cabley lace work on the front. They look very, very nice. I think I might have the yarn for the Hunya. I will have a look anyway later. So that's Lana Finish Knits, which is a fairly new one again. I'm still trying to struggle what's the damage on it to be a second. And the other one, which I'm sure a lot of you have got, is 52 weeks of scrap yarn. Again, I've got a few in here. What's caught my eye in here? Oh, the Cremelia. And Arlott. I just like the base pattern. There's embroidery that makes the colours on that. And finally, a tiny souvenir, which is another scarf. But they're all scrap yarns, and I've got a few of those now, so I thought I'd give that a go. And I have no idea again why that is in. Absolutely perfect. It's not that old a book, but it's classed as a second, and I was happy to pick those at greatly reduced price, and what they were reduced by more than covered the postage over from Finland. So I was very happy with those. Let's have a bit of share the love time. I have, let me see, three podcasts for perhaps you to go and have a look at. I will put their links downstairs. There's Heather at Gypsy Queen Crafts, who has got a very infectious little giggle. So she's fairly new. These are all very new crafters, podcasters, not crafters. So it's nice to go and share the love a bit. Sometimes when you're new, it takes a while for things to get going. There's Hooked and Happy, which is Joe, sorry. Another nice little channel to go and see. And Judy at Curly Tops Makes. Her channel's called Judy Newman, but she's Curly Top Makes. And she's a lovely landlady in London, well, outside London, who is very new at the podcasting. So go and give us some support. And I will add all those links down below, and you can go and have a nice look at some new podcasters and let me know what you think. I like reading all your comments, so don't forget to leave a comment. Even if you've got nothing to say, just a thumbs up would be lovely. It all helps my channel grow. If you liked what you see, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to be notified when I podcast next, ring the bell. and it will let you know. It also lets you know when I put a post in the community posts area where you can go and have a chat if you like. So that is a very quick update for the end of the month. I think that's a 30-minute odd time, plus my new little intro. Oh, I didn't know what to do. I just wanted a nice, calm, quiet, quick intro, just so that I don't suddenly appear. And I hope it's okay. Let me know what you think, and I will comment back to you. I hope you have a good week. Stay safe, stay creative, and I will see you again soon. Bye.